Welcome to What in the Actual Mental Health, where we have no idea what the fuck we're doing. Oh, I forgot my sticky note.
That's okay. It's clear.
I'll ring it. I'll wing it hard.
Okay. Yep. I know the ending.
That's great. All right. Yeah. So we haven't been here in a minute, so we missed your faces, and we're back. You're welcome. Yeah. And what do we got today?
I thought we could talk about the shadow
AKA
side
she
of
pulled
healing.
it out of her ass.
Yeah, well,
7
that's
seconds.
true.
Yeah.
The shadow side of healing, grief of your old self,
Dead bitches.
which I resonate with
Yeah.
pretty hard.
Yeah, you would.
So I thought. So I thought it was cool that you said yes to it.
I'm sure I'll regret it.
It's true. You
Immensely.
probably
Yeah,
will.
I
You're gonna be
already
like,
do.
I don't want to, and I'll be
I
like,
wanna
I
go
hear
home.
you. Yeah,
I know.
and I quit.
I'm sticky.
So the premise is that healing is often portrayed as purely positive, only resulting in freedom, growth, and clarity, and that the healing journey is often super duper messy and can be painful, and there's lots of backslides and
Shit.
yeah, it's not just point A to point B.
No, fuck no.
Oh, no. But it also says that rarely do we talk about the loss that comes with it and comes with change. And that when we heal, we often have to let go of versions of ourselves that no longer serve us, even if they were protective, familiar, or tied to our identity
Yes.
at one point.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, see you guys later.
Yeah. And see, you take it away. You start.
Yeah, no, I definitely have this conversation a lot. This is one of the conversations too that we have a lot with couples, when we do couples therapy, is that if only one of the couples is going to do so, for us, when you come for couples therapy, you have a therapist for both of you, and then you have a therapist opposite, one for the wife, one for the husband, and then the third one for you guys together. So everybody,
Really?
yeah. So that because this is the reason. We are human beings who are judgmental. We are that's who people are. I don't give a fuck what you do, you judge. And the likelihood that you are going to be able to be non-judgmental or non-bipartisan of oh, I like both of them and I can see clearly on both sides, it's very difficult, right? And so for you to have an individual therapist who you can talk shit about with and tell the things that you may not want to say necessarily as you're working on things, and then you come together, you're more likely to be able to heal that. And especially because in couples therapy, you are not allowed any secrets. So if a husband is meeting with you individually and tells you something, well, now you have to rat him out, right? And so how good does that feel? And so it's a better plan, in my opinion, that everybody has their own therapist, and then you have a third party who does your couples therapy.
Interesting.
And so we have to have the conversation a lot of times where it's if you are both honestly doing the work, you can probably make this marriage work. But if one of you is doing the work and the other one's just pretending, you are going to outgrow where that other person is. And the likelihood that you are going to be able to stay together in a healthy way is very slim.
Yeah.
Very, very slim.
That's interesting.
Because you are going to learn things about yourself. You're going to figure things out, maybe things that you used to be okay with because you didn't know any differently, or you didn't know what that looked like if you were healed. And so we always tell people, you need to be really ready that not only will you shed pieces of you, you will shed people. And healing can be very lonely. Very, very lonely. And it's sad and it's hard, and it's hard to watch because and you know it's coming. And you can see it sometimes in the very beginning. People really want to hang on to who they've always held on to, because our brain loves a familiar hell rather than an unfamiliar heaven. And it gets yucky.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now we're done.
Insane bitches.
Yeah, it was so good. Okay. So, it says why grief shows up during healing, the loss of identity, or the sick, the anxious, the chaotic, or overachiever may become part of your story. That's just who you are. I'm just an anxious person. That's just who I am. Or I'm just the girl that gets cheated on all the time. That's
Right.
just who I am. Kind of
mentality.
Yeah, almost like, yeah, like the victim mentality. Like,
Yeah.
that's just kind of who I am. And then, like, if you let that go, I see this a lot. We see this a lot with clients that come in to do like our ketamine therapy. And we both know, like, your EMDR modality, like that EMDR, it works if you're ready and
Right.
you want it to work. And similarly, any kind of work with depression, especially with ketamine, because it's literally rewiring your brain. And then marrying those two together, this works if you let it work.
Right,
And
right.
if you don't want to continue to be
Right.
the woe is me or the depressed
Right.
person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not to say, like, I'm not, what's the word, or I guess phrases, like, I'm not like talking badly about people that are still struggling with depression, because I also am not saying like, oh, we cure depression, like, oh, cured, healed.
Right.
But I do see that patients struggle to let go of the depression or the
Right.
depressive
Part of them.
side. Yeah. And it's almost like you have a conversation with somebody and they're like, oh, well, I'm really depressed. I experience X, Y, and Z. And like when you first meet them, like, yes, those are like big things, you know, like whether that's suicide ideations or you're struggling with a partner or whatever, right? And then they go through the treatment and then they come out on the other end and they're like, this is much better. I'm sleeping better. I feel better. Like my medication's working better, da da da. And then you're like, and then you kind of reevaluate the depression and they're like, no, I'm still depressed.
Yeah.
And you're like,
It's like a security blanket.
yeah. Like,
Well, and I think we have to have the conversation that lots of people, especially in mental health, don't want to have, is that being a victim gets you things. Right? It gets you attention. It gets you the, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. What can I do for you? Like,
Right.
to be a victim is to get something, right? We're not doing it because we think it's fun. And I've done it myself. There's been a time in my life where I very much left like myself in that space when it's like, you can fucking get out of this. You
Right.
can fix this.
Right.
You can look at this and say, this doesn't work. How do I be something different, even if it's fucking uncomfortable?
Right.
Or do I stay being a victim and stay in that mentality because it gets me something? And that's fine. But having that conversation with people of like, yes, you can stay exactly the way you are. You can always identify as being triggered, depressed, having PTSD, or you can heal and say, at one time I had these wounds
right.
and they're still there, but they don't affect me, they don't control me, and they don't own me because I don't need to sit in the corner and have everybody feel sorry for me anymore. But nobody wants to say that. They're like, oh, you're being a dick. You're being an asshole. And I'm like, or are we just being honest that, like, if you really want to get better, motherfucker, you can. But it is a ton of fucking work, and it is work forever.
Yeah.
Like, people talk about addiction and how, like, for the rest of your life, you're an addict and you will have to work against that. That is mental health, period. That is body health, period. Like, if you don't want to be 80 years old and, like, bent over, you know, on a walker, dragging your ass to the car, you're always
Right.
going to have to take care of yourself.
And you better start early.
Right. And your brain is no different. Right. And so it's like, yeah, you may have had depression and now you just do the things to make sure that you're keeping your dopamine, your cortisol, you know, all of
Right.
your stuff nice and high so that you don't have to live in that place anymore.
Yep.
Unless you truly want to.
Right.
And some people do. And I tell people that sometimes. I'm like, it's okay if this is where you want to be. I just can't be there with you. It's unethical. It's not appropriate. That's not what I'm going to do. I will push you. I will cheer you on. I will tell you to knock off your shit. But I'm not going to sit here with you and be like, oh my God, that's so sad. You should be this way forever.
Yeah.
Because then I can collect your copay till you die. Fuck that. And a therapist that does that is gross.
I agree.
It's real gross.
I've had multiple patients, like ketamine patients that are like transferring from other states or other providers or whatever. Usually I've seen it has been from like other states and like the patient very rarely calls. And this is how I know.
Yeah.
So it's usually like the caretaker, whether that's the spouse or the mom or the whatever, right?
Yeah.
So we'll just say the mom calls. And the mom's like, oh, my son's been getting ketamine therapy every week for years.
Jesus.
And I'm like,
Why?
okay. And then they say, yeah, they're getting X, Y, and Z with it. And, you know, I'm just looking for somewhere that kind of can like continue to meet my son's needs. And this is actually a call that I got like a while ago. And my staff member comes back and they're like, okay, this is what the patient, you know, this is what this person is asking. And I'm like, well, how long have they been getting ketamine? And then they're like, oh, it's been like a year. And I'm like, every week for a year?
That's gross.
And I'm like, that is the exact same thing, is
Right.
that provider is literally like, that patient is just that provider's cash cow.
Right.
And you've done them no service,
Right.
because now that patient doesn't know how to cope. Now they're just dependent on that.
Yeah.
And that's like,
Yucky.
I mean, it's funny because it's not really like, from a business standpoint, it's not like great business savvy,
Mm-hmm.
but like from a provider standpoint, you don't want those patients to come back.
Right.
You want them to graduate, or you
Right.
want them to move on, and
Yeah.
like you want them to be successful.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
No.
I won't. Nope. We will not be the every week we're doing this and that. That's not
How it works.
No.
Not in a healthy way.
not in a healthy way.
No,
Correct.
because then, like you said, if that's what I always tell people. Like, if I'm a good therapist,
Mm-hmm.
I have taught you how to live without me.
Just like a parent.
Right. Yeah, like I'm like a little mama bird. Ping out the nest, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I'm like, here if you need me, and I will
Right.
like guide you kind of from afar, but eventually you're going to have to learn how to fly.
Right, and make your own nest. You
Right.
have to.
Yeah.
And you would hope that you would want to, but there are lots of therapists that want to hold on to people forever. And I'm like, no. And I've had clients who are like, okay, well, we'll be at this till I die. And I'm like, the fuck we will?
We won't know.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know that you could sit here and talk to this chair. I will not be in it because that's not how this works. That's not good. That's not a good reflection. I would like
Yeah.
you to live your life and be the best that you can be. But again, this is where sometimes you have to have that conversation of like, if you're not ready to heal,
Right.
that's okay too, because it is hard and it is lonely and it is very, you do start to outgrow people and things, and that can be, especially when you're older and making friends is already hard enough. As you get into your 40s and 50s, it's
Yeah.
really hard to then say these people that maybe you've held on to for 20 years because you didn't know any different, now you're healed and they're not, and you're like, I really don't want to talk to that person anymore, but that's all I've known. And nobody ever talks about, that this is going to be really uncomfortable. It's like a wound, and you're like digging out the debris. It's going to really fucking suck, but eventually it will get better.
Yeah.
But it's not fun.
But like in the here and now, it's like hard. I feel too, like, I guess I can relate personally, like kind of in multiple like spots in my life. And there have been a couple instances recently where I've been like really proud of myself. I've been like, ooh, I set that boundary. So like I met somebody that I was like, oh, this person's really nice. It was like a girl, right? And I was like, oh, I always say like, I don't need any more friends. Like, I just don't want any more people in my life. Like, it's exhausting. But I was like, ooh, this girl's really nice and we get along, and it would be like nice to have a friend, whatever. Not to say that I don't have friends. What I'm saying is, I was like, ooh, it'd be nice to have a friend. And we kind of like hit it off. We met through like the charity work and stuff. And then I like started to spend some more like time. Like we had to cut, like, we spent some more time together. And I was like, do I like you because you're a project, or do I like you because we get a lot, like, because we have like because we're aligned in a certain way.
Right.
And it was like, the more time that I like thought about that, instead of just being like, oh my gosh, we're friends. Cause you already know, I'm the person that's friends with everybody. I like, oh my God, we're so great. Let's hang out. This is so good. And I'm like everyone's cheerleader, and that's fine. Whatever. I mean, it's good to be encouraging for people, and it's good to be nice to people,
And it's
whatever.
your style.
Right. That's
It's
just
your
who
thing.
I am.
Yeah.
But I just was like,
That's why God gives you people like me.
and my husband
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Arian.
Yeah, exactly.
But
All
I
your
just was
people.
like, I actually don't think that,
I like you.
yeah, like I do like them, but I'm like, I think that I don't need to take on another project. And I am like, I've never in my life been the girl who's like, I don't need another project. Like, what? Who? Yes, I do. I need all the projects. I like to fix. I'm like Mrs. fucking Sally Fix-a-Lot. Like, that's who I am.
Yes.
And so I was like, oh, damn. And I
that's
told
good.
Mike, I said, I think I might be
You're
a
like,
big
I did a
girl.
thing.
Yeah. But it's interesting because it does make your circle a lot smaller
Yeah.
when you're very,
Sometimes you just have a dot.
when you're very like particular about who you share your life with.
Right.
And like, okay, well, you're really nice, or like, yeah, we're like, we can be friendly, but like, how much do I want to let you into my space because it's sacred and I worked really hard to get there? And sometimes I feel bad. I'm like, damn, I don't have nearly as many friends as I used to, but I'm also like way happier than I used to be.
Yeah, yeah. I think one of the things, like, I got to learn, and without wanting to learn it, but I did.
That's how most of the lessons go.
Exactly. It was
You're like, oh, I'd love to learn what it's like to be fucked over.
Yeah, I would love this to hurt more, please.
Yeah.
Is when you heal, how many people don't want to be around you anymore because you are healed, and that was
because you've changed.
Super fun. That was really enjoyable because, like, literally everybody that I was friends with when I was really sick, the minute I physically got better and I was just a different person because I had died and I came back, and it very much changed the way I saw things, the way I reacted to things.
Right.
At that moment, I lost every friend with the exception of one that I still talk to. And it was interesting because that was right at the same time that I met my husband, and it was like him plus me being different, like shoved everybody over the edge. Like, how dare you be this healed, happy person who has this beautiful, human who wants to love you with this tiny human who's adorable, you cunt. And I did. And it was literally like that fast. And I was like, wait, what the fuck happened? So it's like, I think that's the thing too, is I tell people, like, you have to remember too, when you change and when you heal, and even just when you change in general, there are people who cannot adapt to who you are if you are, in their eyes, doing better than them.
Yeah.
They like you to be at their level or below, and anything outside of that is not going to work for them. And those are definitely not your fucking people. And it sucks that those are people you probably were really close to, but at some point you became better at something, or you became better in what you're doing, and they're like, abso-fucking-lutely not. That's fucking shitty. And it does suck. And it still is. Like, it still pisses me off, and I'm still like, that's fucking gross. Yeah. But it is what it is. I mean, obviously it's better because of it, but that's when, for me, it went down to a dot. And I was like, well, all right, here you go. And I still have a very small circle of humans, and that's fine. I would rather that. I don't have the fucking energy for what I used to have as like a group, like I can't even imagine spending the time doing the shit I did before, where I now spend it on like work and my family and, the people that are close to me, because that is where it should go. And I laugh because I think sometimes, like, even if I like ran into them and we had a conversation, like, what the fuck would we even talk about? Yeah. Because I can guarantee we would have nothing to talk about that would make any fucking sense. Yeah. So, and it sucks.
I know. I think about that actually with my marriage with my girl's dad. Like, there was definitely, like, when we first met, we were very compatible. We took a compatibility test. Like, we did, what do you call it? Premarital counseling for 9 months before we got engaged, because we were serious about each other. We'd both been in very serious relationships before, and we both knew what we wanted. And so we were like, hey, we're going to like lay the foundation, and we're going to like knock this shit out of the park, because we fucking shit the bed the last time. Yeah. And so we took a compatibility test, like through the therapist, and it is like all these different relationship components and things and like all that. And we scored 90% compatibility.
Wow. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, 90%. Yeah. And we were like pretty happy for a while. And then I started to grow and like figure out, I got my nurse practitioner. I started working with a business, like in a smaller business. And I kind of like worked my way up from like the ground up. And I like really worked on like my confidence and like learning how to build a business and learning how to like raise funds. And that's when I like really found the passion for like the charity work, and was like, dang, this is like really what lights me up. Not just the healthcare stuff, but like marrying the mental health with community work and all that stuff. And so I was like, really kind of like took off running, and he did not. Yeah. And I'll never forget, at one point we were having like an argument, and I was like, I said something and he was like, I don't even like who you've become, like, I don't even like who you are. And I was just like, that fucking sucks, because I'm actually kind of digging who I am. And I had like lost my dad a couple years before that, and that just like, and I've shared before too, like it was like, it shattered me. And it was like, there was like a cat before and a cat after, and they are like very different people. Yeah. And it took me like a long time to kind of put myself back together. Yeah. And I'm still like doing it or whatever. But like at that point, I had my girls, I had both girls. I was like running a business. I was raising money for charity. I was like really kind of getting into like the entrepreneurial like side and like using my brain in creative ways and all this stuff. And I just like felt really confident. And he was like, I don't even like who you are. And I was like, huh.
Like, well,
I don't really know what to do with that. Like it was
Yeah.
just like, instead of growing like together, we literally just like, I grew and he didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there were lots of other things between the two of us. Right. But that was a really pivotal moment for me because it was like, maybe this isn't my circle anymore.
Right.
And that's really hard.
Yeah.
Cause like, you're supposed to be like
My person.
my person. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
my soulmate forever. You're supposed to love all the things that I do.
Right.
And while he did, it was never that he didn't support me. It was that he wasn't a cheerleader.
Right.
He was just like, yeah, go do your thing.
Right.
Cool
And then
beans.
that's it.
Yeah. But it was never like, fuck yeah, what can I do to help you excel? What can I do to da-da-da-da, right?
Right.
And like, now obviously Mike is like,
Yeah.
he's like the biggest cheerleader in the entire world.
Right.
But yeah, it's very
Very different,
different.
yeah.
And I feel like it was like shedding like your skin, like as a
Right.
snake. Like this is this was like the before, and now there's this whole different person. And there was definitely like a lot of grieving
Yeah.
happening there.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is interesting. Yeah. Well, and I think that's part of it too, is that I think you start to learn like who your tribe is, which again, not always a big tribe.
Yeah.
It's a little tribe.
It's a tribelet.
Yeah. Because even my husband has said, like people will comment and they're like, oh, from like when we met to where we are now, they're like, oh man, she's done some things. And, and I'm like, yeah, it's because he cheered me on. It was his idea for me to start my own business,
Right.
and then it's just everything from there on. He's like, all right, let's do it. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Like whatever. But before that, I had never dated somebody who was like, you could do big things. They were just like, stay in this little corner right here because that's what I like. And it's like, okay. And then you get used to that. And especially when you were also taught that as a kid, right? And I think
Right.
that's part of too, is that like when I'm like talking to people about like healing, I have to always have the conversation of like, you have to heal you as a child with you now as an adult. Like you have to right now be the adult that you needed as a kid that you didn't have if you truly want to heal. So, and that I know, and that's exactly the face everyone makes. They're like, I hate it here.
I know.
Wanna
Well,
go home.
I'm sober, so there's the first and foremost.
Exactly.
I don't do
and
drugs.
it is hard, right? So it's like, if you as a kid didn't get X, Y, and Z, how do you as the adult right now give that to you and sit with that and recognize like how much you may have just needed to hear you do matter, or you're not too sensitive, or you're not X, Y, and Z, because that is what happens, right? And then you just keep copying and pasting that as you go. So that's the real fun part.
Yeah, that's funny because I got a lot of verbal validation, but I was just talking to somebody the other day about providing financially. And I don't think I've never felt safe financially from anybody but myself. Like whether that's like my parents, any of my like husbands or boyfriends, like I have never felt financially safe or like taken care of. Like I've always had to be the one to take care. And the tables have like turned a little bit, and it's super humbling.
Yeah. Yeah. It's scary.
And it's yeah, it's really scary because I'm, in starting a business, you don't make money the first year. That's for damn sure. And you're real lucky if you make money the second year.
Yeah.
Like statistically, you don't make money till like year 3 or 4. Like make money.
Right.
On paper, yes, you make
Sure.
money, but like you're expanding, you're growing, you're hiring, you're doing all the things, right? So, yeah, that it's, and especially when you have to start from scratch.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. And you're like, oh,
You're like, whoa,
yeah,
that burns. So it's been like, we're shocked to hear this, but I've been very angry about being taken care of, which is so fucking stupid.
so good.
Anger is that's my default. Yeah. And it's gotten me in trouble where my husband's like, would you stop being a dick? And I'm like, no.
You're like, not at all. It's what I've
No,
done forever.
it's in my soul. But yeah, I definitely have to like step back and think about it. And it's funny, I didn't even think about it never even occurred to me. And then I was talking to somebody the other day and I was like, oh yeah, I've never like been taken care of financially.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my God, no wonder I'm so angry.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly, like it literally was like the little fucking light bulb flickered and then went on. And I was like, oh.
Well, and if you look at the anger, because it's secondary, what's underneath is the fear.
Right.
Yeah. And how scary that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
I know. Thanks. I know. I had to go to my husband and be like, okay, so here's the
Really?
thing. I literally we were driving in the car. This was like last weekend because this was super, or maybe 2 weeks ago, but this was like super recent where I was like, oh my God, this is why it makes me so angry. We were driving, he's driving, and I'm like, don't look at me. We're not making a big deal out of this, but I want you to know that this is the conversation that I'm not even kidding you. I like looked out the fucking window and I was like, we don't need to make a big deal out of it. I just want you to know.
Sit in the back seat and call you.
Yeah. Can I text this to you? I literally was like, we don't need to make eye contact. I just want you just need to hear this. And you need to know that it has nothing to do with you. And I'm the asshole. And he was like, I love this.
Yeah.
He literally was like, so should I bring this up in our next argument?
Maybe.
I know. He like literally just like, he totally made a joke out of it. But I was like, you just need to know that I've just had a revelation and I know that I'm a dick.
I was exactly like that with my husband, with just like in general being like taken care of, and it's so funny because like it would be different things, like, him being like, I don't think that person's actually like as genuine as you're kind of giving him credit for, or whatever. And I'm like, no, I think it's all right. And then I would get really mad and very like, oh, you're just trying to control me. And that's for me where it went, was like, I very much was like, you're just trying to control me. And once I feel that, I dig in. Like, even if I know 100% that I'm wrong, I'm like, oh, the sky is purple and it will be purple till I die. And it's like, could it be blue? And I'm like, never.
Not until it's my idea.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, and
You're like, that's so weird. It faded into this blue after a while.
Like, that's just faded. It's just sunset. Stop it. But it's so funny because it's kind of the same thing where it's like he genuinely just like wants to lead and wants to like, and I think that's what it was, is it, it's his role to lead. It is my role to follow. But I have never in my entire fucking life had that happen. So I was like, the fuck you will. That's how we die. I have to lead. I have to do all the things.
I have to leave my eyes open.
Yeah. Lay like this all the time, ready to go. And it would make him so mad, and I like couldn't understand it for a very long time. I really stressed him out for quite a while, and sometimes I still fuck it up. Like, I don't ever want,
sometimes
every now and then I still fuck it up, and then he'll like look at me and I'm like, oh, you gotta But it is hard, and I think that's what people don't talk about too when they talk about healing, is like how much, even when you like logically know, you feel like you have to push so hard back into what you've done for so long. Especially because for me, that's what kept me alive. That's just like, that's all there was. I didn't have any other choice. The fuck was I going to do, So, yeah, it's fucking, it's gross. But
yeah, I tend to, like, when I get scared, I get angry, and then I get like really aggressive and like super protective of things. So like, I've been fucking it up a lot lately. It's really good. So good. Yeah.
Really working out.
I know. I'm like, ooh, I love this for everyone.
Yeah, like, this
specifically for my husband. I love it really a lot for him.
I'm
but
sure he loves it even more.
Yep. So he's like, I don't understand like what's going on in the last like little while, but like we're kind of like bickering more than we used to, and I'm like, I agree. Like I was acknowledging it, right? And then he was like, and I was like, yeah, there's just like this kind of like this pattern. And I like go through the thing and I'm like, this happens and then this happens and then this happens. And then we were talking about, he brought up a conversation, like he wanted to talk about something. And he was like, am I like, and this was like a conversation that we were having collectively with someone else. Like it was like the three of us. And then he like sidebars me and is like, are you getting this like from this, or is it just me? And I just like immediately, because he was like, I don't feel like I'm like really wanted in this conversation, is essentially what he was saying. And I was like, I immediately got angry, but like at the other person, but not
funny.
to them. I just like told him, I was like, nope, we're not even going down this road. We're not talking to them anymore. Like, we're not going to do that thing with them. Like, no, we're not doing it. And he was like, but
what?
what are you even talking about? I was like, we're not going there. We're not. And he was like, and he tried like 3 different times to have the conversation with me. And every time he's like, well, how do you feel about maybe trying to like, and I was like, no,
they're dead to me.
Yeah. And I was like so hell bent on it. And then the other night he's like, I've just been trying to like have a conversation with you and you're just like shutting me down.
Right.
And it kind of like,
it.
kind of like shook me a little bit. Like he'd like shake me a little and be like, fucking listen to what I'm saying. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I said, I think what's happening is that I just want to protect you. And in protecting you, I like squeezed you too hard. Cause he's like, you didn't even give me like a choice or a say. I was like, you just like shut the whole thing down. Like, we're not doing that. And I was like, yes, I did.
Like,
Sorry. I did. I panicked. And that is because I'm just like, and I told him, like, I'm fearful that, like, I'll fucking kill anyone that hurts you because I'm, like, so protective. And he was like, I wasn't even hurt. I just, like, fucking I just wanted to say something. And I was like, no, you don't get to say anything about it. We're not going to hang out with them or whatever it was. And he was like,
okay.
yeah. And then I was like, it's going to make you depressed. He's like, I'm not fucking depressed. And I was like, yes, you are.
He's like, I'm actually perfectly fine.
Yeah,
You're
he's
freaking
like,
me out, though.
now I'm depressed because
Yeah.
you're an idiot. And I
Making me
married an
panic.
idiot. Yeah. Yeah, it was really strange. And I think I just dumped all these things instead of being like, okay, well, he's probably a big boy and can handle his own shit. But I just like,
Well, and that also comes from being parentified.
yes,
Right,
that's exactly what I said.
yeah.
I was like, I just made decisions so that
Right.
you didn't have to and so that you didn't get hurt. But instead I like took your autonomy away.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I like to do that a lot to everybody.
What? That's
know, I'm
crazy.
Yeah, I have a real big tendency to, but it's been like literally could just wear a sash for the rest of my life that says parentified child, you know, and so it very much becomes like, oh my God, something's wrong. I have to fix it for everybody.
Yep.
Instead of like, maybe they just need to figure it the fuck out.
Yeah. Or like, I'll just be here with you
Right.
while we talk it out.
Yeah.
Cause he was like, I just like wanted to have a conversation because sometimes I miss social cues. You
Yeah.
know, he's like, sometimes I just like want to talk it out and
Right.
or stop it before those feelings are real.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes I'm like, no, that's
You're
not a
just, like,
thing.
yanked it out.
Yeah. And I was like, no, we're not fucking doing that. If you're hurt at all, like, fuck it, we're not doing it. And he was like, do you
Or-
hear yourself? Yeah. And I was like, no, I hear myself. I'm being very logical. We're not doing this. And he was like,
That's not logic. Yeah. He's like, I don't think you.
I wish you could have seen his face. Like, I'm replaying it right now. He was like, he was like, I don't get what's happening.
I think that's part of it too, is like when you think about healing too, it's like your type of healing and your partner's type of healing, especially if you've had very different childhoods or very different types of trauma, which then again like affects like your attachment style too. Because I can be very disorganized in my attachment. And my husband, he's probably much more like his attachment is much healthier. But like when shocker, but then he's also like when he's done, like he very much is like, if you don't get away from me, this is gonna get ugly. And I have the tendency to be like, when that happens, I'm like, what you mean is I should suck on like a little octopus. And he's like, I can't tell you how much I need you to get the fuck off me. And
You're
and
like,
then-
oh, I'm making this worse.
yeah, and then I'll really fuck it up by then being disorganized with that. And then when I'm like, okay, I think we're in a good place. I need you to get the fuck away from me. And it's like, oh, that's so confusing. So I think that's hard too when you start looking at healing is like what that looks like for both of you and how different.
So confusing.
Yeah, it's so yucky. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry. But it is. And it's, I think that's hard sometimes too. Because there's times where like I'll do something and he'll just look at me and I'm like, I know that's not going to make any sense to you, but it makes so much sense to me.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, and it's, I think it's hard too when some of the healing you do has to be in regards to people you're still around or people who still affect you. Because I like just watched this video the other day where they were like talking about, you know, even if you heal, you cannot heal your parents. I know. And so like you just kind of like the best thing you can do is to continue like healthy relationship and create the next generations that don't have to heal from you the way you may have to heal from your parents. And I think that's a conversation I have with a lot of clients of like, you're going to heal. You cannot expect that your parents are going to. You cannot expect that they will follow in suit or do the things. And you're going to have to create the apology that you probably need from them within yourself, from yourself, that you're never probably going to get from them and still have to be around them. Yeah. Just gnaw on that for a minute.
It's gross. It's funny because I think, like, at least personally, like, I know that my mom knows she fucked up hard. Like, how could she not know? Like, and she's told me, and my dad has told me, like, they've told me, like, oh, yeah, we really fucked that up. And it's funny because I don't feel like what happened when I was, like, younger is as impactful as, like, the behaviors from her now.
Would you let your kids live the life you led as a child?
No, I definitely would not. But I think the way she is now is what is like so like damaging or frustrating for me. And maybe I would say now, like in the last decade.
Does it feel that way though because you have the ability to be angrier at her now because you couldn't when you were little because she was your home.